Good afternoon, guys. It's Casey checking in with you on this beautiful Saturday, um, November 2nd, guys. Today is November 2nd. Wow, I can't even believe I said that. I can't believe we're in November already, guys. The year is flying by. The time, it seems to be getting away from me. Um, wow, I can't believe we're in November, guys. But we are, okay? All right, guys, I'm getting ready to go in for a shift. I wanted to check in with you guys with the hits. My list exploded yesterday, guys. It exploded. Guys, I wanted to touch on a subject about we have loved ones in our life. We have people in our life that we want to see win, guys. Okay? And I wanted to touch on the subject of constructive criticism, guys. Okay? Um a lot of people feel like when you critique someone, I know your intentions are to help them get ahead. Okay, but we have to remember when we're critiquing people. I like to start with something positive when I'm critiquing somebody. I was thinking about that yesterday, and it reminded me of when I was a new nurse, guys. Many moons ago, when I was a new nurse, and years ago, when you're a new graduate, and you got your first job and you start in the hospital, they put you with a preceptor, and you're with that preceptor for about 6 weeks, guys, and she owns you. She or he owns you for those 6 weeks, guys. You do what they say. Uh, Whatever they say goes. Okay, it's kind of like being in the military, guys. Back then. Okay, I don't think that they're doing that these days, but that's the way it was then. Okay, and so I can remember having a preceptor. I went to a hospital, and I got that was like my first hospital job. I was very excited, um, wet behind the ears, and they put me with this nurse. She was getting ready to retire. She had been there about 30 years. I believe it was about 40 years she had been there. Um, this lady, the only way I could describe her is, does anybody remember the show The Jeffersons? It was a sitcom with Florence. What was her name? I think her name was I forgot her name. Florence. Florence from the Jeffersons. Okay, Marla Gibbs is her name. The actress's name who does it, Marla Gibbs. But her attitude on that show, her snappy comebacks, the way she always had something snappy to say. This lady was her. I'm telling you, and she even looked like her. She even looked like this lady, Florence from the Jeffersons. Okay, and she always had something snappy to say. She those comebacks that Florence on the Jeffersons used to give to George. This nurse used to do that to the doctors. Okay, the doctors were actually intimidated by this lady. Okay, and I followed her around like a puppy for 6 weeks. But when I met her, when I had come to work the first 2 days, and I was with someone else because she was out for those days, and they was telling her name was Miss Molly, and the nurse that I was with for those 2 days temporarily, she would tell me, "Oh well, wow, you're with Miss Molly. All I can tell you is roll over and play dead." And everybody had something to say about Miss Molly. You understand? Because everyone was so intimidated by Miss Molly. Okay, and they were like, "You're gonna be with Miss Molly for 6 weeks?" And they was like, "I pray for you." You understand? And so I was like, "Who is this lady?" You understand? She can't be all that, because back then I was only 23, and I'm like, I wanted to see the good in everybody. I'm like, this lady, her and I have to have something in common. She can't be as bad as everyone is saying. Now, everybody had the utmost respect for her because she was very knowledgeable. She was very knowledgeable. The doctors used to come to her for answers. Okay, she was very knowledgeable. She was great at what she did. Okay, but like I said, she had the personality of that TV sitcom Florence from the Jeffersons. She had that type of personality. She would tell you off in a minute. Okay, so okay, 2 days went by. The next day I was supposed to go in and be with her. Okay, and so what I did was I went to the hospital gift store, and I had got this. It was like a little whatnot, and it was an apple, and it had a little brain on it, and it said, "Let me pick your brain." Okay, and I just thought it was a funny thing to start off with, being that she was going to be my teacher for the next 6 weeks. To break the ice. You understand? So I went to the unit. I met her. Understand? And she was sitting at the desk. She didn't even look up from the desk. She didn't even acknowledge me. You understand? And so, I'm wet behind the ears. So I come and I give her this little gift. So she opens it and she sees it's an apple and everything. Now, everyone else around the desk, they was like, "Oh, that's so nice. That's so sweet," or whatever. Okay. Miss Molly looked at that apple because it had a little brain on it, and it said, "Let me pick your brain." Okay. And she said, "This is nice." But she said, "You might want to hold on to this, because," she said, "by the end of the week, you're going to want to throw it at me." Okay, so I said, now why? I said to myself, "Oh my God." Okay, so, but like I always tell you, everybody starts with the A with Casey. Okay, and even then at 23, I knew that when you needed knowledge from somebody, when you needed to acquire knowledge from someone, you had to be humble. Okay, so I just had to eat it. Whatever she came at me with, I had to eat it because I needed the knowledge that she had. Okay, because she used to make little remarks like, "You're fresh out of school, you're stupid." You understand? You don't know anything yet, and things like that. And so that approach I didn't like, but I also knew that she had a lot to teach me. And I followed her around like a puppy. I took her criticisms. You understand? When she used to introduce me, she would say, "Oh, this is one of the new nurses. I'm trying to put some knowledge in her. She don't know anything." And I didn't like that part. I did not like her approach, the way she taught. You understand? But she was very knowledgeable. I did learn a lot from her as a nurse. Okay, so one day, this was about 3 weeks into me being her student, running around, following her, doing everything she said and everything. Working, trying to get as much knowledge as I could as a new nurse. Okay, I had left the unit for my break, and I came back, and they had like a corner when you turn the elevators from the elevators, that was like a blind spot where the people on the unit really couldn't see you, but you could see them. Okay, so I go to turn the corner and I hear Miss Molly yelling at someone. It was one of the nurse managers. One of the nurse managers thought that I had this particular patient, and something was wrong. They had done, whoever had the patient had done something wrong, and she thought it was me. Okay, and I had not had that patient. I was not assigned to that patient that day. I had not even been near that patient that day. But what surprised me was Miss Molly was tearing into this woman. She was defending me, and she went down the line at everything that I had been doing correct for the 3 weeks that I had her, that I was her student. Okay, that she was my preceptor. Okay, she went down everything that I did that was correct. Okay, that I thought she didn't notice. Okay, she complimented me. She told her that for a new nurse, her skills are exceptional. You understand? She said all of the things to this lady that I wanted her to say to me. You understand? Because throughout those weeks, I was doing things and I was looking for approval from her. And she would just say, like that. She would say, like that. And she never said, "Good job, great job, you're doing great. You understand? You did that district great." She never said that, guys. It would just be like, Okay, she would say, "Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that?" And yes, yes, yes. And she would look, and she would say, just say, "Uh-huh." And she would keep going. Never, no type of feedback, no type of positive feedback. You're doing a great job. None of that, guys. And so I was shocked to hear her praising me to somebody and tearing into them about them thinking that I was the one that was with that patient when something wasn't done. And she was telling them about how I make sure that I do this and I make sure that I do that. And I was grateful. I was grateful, guys, that she was speaking highly of me that way. But I would have liked for her to tell me some of that, of what she was telling to that nurse manager about me. Now, I never let her know that I heard what she was saying, but it did give me new insight to Miss Molly. It gave me new insight to her. Okay, but some people feel that if they give you some kind of praise, that it's going to slow you down in your progress of what you're doing. So they feel like all that what they need to do is just keep driving what you're not doing right home so that you'll improve. That's not always the case, guys. Nowadays, when I get new nurses, guys, before I critique them about something, I tell them what they did right first, okay, to give them encouragement to go on for what they, because people receive constructive criticism better when you point out something that they're doing right first. Okay, so that's just like a little thing, because somebody needed to hear that today. Okay, we all have people in our life that we love, that we want to see win. We want to see them make it in life. We want to see them improve, guys. When you are critiquing people and trying to make people better, just remember to start with what they're doing right. Okay, because I had a lot of respect for Miss Molly. Everyone respected her, but it was just I would have liked to hear some of those things that I heard her saying to that nurse manager about me. I would have liked to have heard her say that to me. You understand? Because up until that point, I really wasn't that sure if I was doing a good job. Okay, because I never got any feedback from her telling me that I was doing a great job. Okay, until that moment when I heard her going down the line, telling that nurse manager all of the things that I have done right for those 3 weeks. So she did notice what I was doing. She did see what I was doing correctly, but she never told me. So that's my thing, guys. When you are trying to make somebody better, try to start with what they're doing right first, guys. Okay? That you never know when a person needs to hear that encouragement, that pat on the back, guys. Start off with what they're doing right. Okay, so that's just more Casey's 2 cents. What I had to tell. Somebody needed to hear that today, guys. Somebody needed to hear that. And Miss Molly, we had a bad start, but Miss Molly went on to retire. I'm sure she's transitioned by now because she was about 65, pushing 70 at the time, many, many moons ago. Okay, so I'm sure she has transitioned, but I'm very grateful to her for because I wouldn't be the nurse that I am if it was not for her. Okay, she gave me the start that I needed. Okay, but the only thing that I would have changed about that experience is hearing her say, "You did a great job." And Miss Molly did not give out compliments to anyone. Okay, under any circumstances, but I was grateful to have heard her speaking about me that way to someone. Okay, I was grateful for that. I needed to hear that. I guess God put me at that elevator at that moment to hear her, and that was my confirmation that I was doing the right thing. I was going in the right direction, guys. So, guys, me and Miss Molly, we had some. When I first met her, guys, she was old school nurse. She was old school nurse, honey. She wanted you to wear the stockings, the white dress. She even wanted you to wear the cap, guys. She wanted you to wear the cap. Okay? Let me show you the cap she wanted me to wear. This is the cap from nursing school. When you graduated, we threw these nurses' caps up in the air because we knew we wasn't going to be wearing these caps, honey. Okay? Because that was the new era where you got the scrub pants, the cartoon shirts, and everything. And we was very excited, okay, to be being able to get those new type of uniforms rather than those old starch white uniforms, guys. That's uncomfortable. Okay, so we was very grateful. So we threw our caps in the air, guys. We threw our caps in the air. Okay, but this is the caps that she wanted me to wear. When I first came to her the first day, she asked me, "Where's my cap?" And I said, "I lost it." Okay, I didn't lose it. I had it at home, but I was not wearing it, honey. I was not wearing that cap. And do you know that the next day I showed up there, she had a cap sitting on the desk, guys, that she brought from home that she wanted me to wear. Guys, Miss Molly was a trip. She was a trip. But I'm gonna show you the cap she wanted me to wear, guys. That I wore in nursing school. Okay, this is the cap. This is the cap right here, guys. So, guys, you see my point, okay? You see my point. This is the cap. That's the cap that Miss Molly wanted me to be walking around in. But my point to you is, guys, Miss Molly was a wonderful teacher. She was a wonderful preceptor, but that it was the only missing part of the equation that I would have liked to hear some positive feedback from her. Sometimes we need positive feedback, guys, to know if we're going in the right direction. Okay, yes, people should be self-motivating. I've been very self-motivated my entire life, guys. When I have a mission, I really don't need other people's push or but sometimes it's good to have that, that pat on the back occasionally when you're not sure if you're doing the right thing, if you're going in the right direction, guys. So just keep that in mind, guys, as you're going about your day, because I know a lot of you have loved ones that you want to see win, and you are trying to encourage them the best of your abilities, guys. Okay. But I just wanted to put that out there, guys, because somebody needed to hear that today. All right, guys. We're going to get to the hits, and then I got to go in for a shift, guys. I got to go in for a shift today. All right, guys. Okay. Stay tuned for the hits.